Glasgow has a massive mountain to climb as they attempt to conquer Loftus this weekend. Last time we looked at some of the vulnerabilities that the Bulls have, as well as the opportunities that Glasgow can expect throughout the game. And this time we're going to do the same for Glasgow. So let's get into it. Glasgow's main weakness stems from the fact that they are a very attack-minded team. They like to score tries, they like to play with a bit of risk, and they don't really like structure as much as others. We can see this in their kicking stats. They have the least amount of kick meters of any team, 10,714, and their territory tends to be quite low because they don't focus so much on the kicking game. The Bulls, on the other hand, have an amazing kicking game, and it's only been getting better as the season has gone on. They are 5th for kick meters with 13,618, as well as 5th for kicks from hand with 487. And this is a core area that I think both teams are going to focus on for this game. For the Bulls, it's going to be all about getting territory or getting into kicking battles. And for Glasgow, it's going to be all about getting out of those kicking battles and getting into general face play. The Bulls' kickers are extremely good, specifically Willie Leroux and Johan Goosen, especially since the last few games or so. They've both been on point when it comes to kicking. And I really don't think that Glasgow is going to want to get into that kicking battle. So first of all, I don't think that Glasgow has been training for that. I think their game plan has been different the entire season long. And I also don't think that it's necessarily their player profiles that sorts that type of game. I think the key for them is going to be to get into positions where they can really play their game, where they can be in positions to be ambitious. And that is a word that I really want to focus on. I think that if Glasgow wants to win this game, they're going to have to be ambitious. They're going to have to be brave. They will most likely frequently find themselves back in their own 22 or deep within their own half, and they're going to have to decide, do they want to kick and get into this territorial battle, or do they want to run it back and risk a turnover? I'd love to hear your opinion as a Glasgow fan, or even just as a general rugby fan, but I don't think that the Glasgow Warriors are going to benefit from playing more safe or playing so-called finals rugby. I think the atmosphere and I think the Bulls' kicking skills are just too much for them to overcome, and I think what's going to be required are some moments of magic throughout the game. This brings up another interesting point, which is the Bulls' loose forwards, who are exceptionally good. They're quite young as a pack, those loose trios that we usually see from the Bulls. They're quite inexperienced, but they perform at such a high level. So I'd say if you are watching the game, try to keep an eye out for Mark van Staden, Elrich Lowe and Cameron Honeycomb, specifically on when the Glasgow Warriors try to counterattack. I think they're going to play a pivotal role in really trying to either slow down the next ruck that comes from that, or trying to turn the ball over there. I don't necessarily mean in general play when the Bulls have their defensive structures up and the Glasgow Warriors have their attacking structures up. I think then the Bulls are going to prioritize connections rather, but I mean in general loose play. When the Bulls kick, the Glasgow Warriors are going to take it back in. I'd say watch for the loose forwards of the Bulls and how aggressive they're going to try to be. I think there is one kicking area, where I did think the Glasgow Warriors were pretty solid against Munster last week. And that is in the box kick, specifically when they box kick for possession or for pressure. So when they box kick and their wingers or their centers really pressure the catcher. This is where I do think they have an opportunity to really get a foothold in the game, and the Bulls are going to have to be really careful with their blockers that are running back to try and give their catchers some space to take it without pressure. Because if this leads to some turnovers for Glasgow, they're going to be very, very deadly. The Bulls are going to defend on the back foot, and that's not an area where they want to be. It's going to be absolutely pivotal for the Bulls' wingers to be really accurate in the air and to not drop any balls there. Thank you so much for watching this preview. I cannot wait The next one's going to be the big one where we're going to look at all the areas that these teams excel in and where their weaknesses are. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.